Hey, everybody, it is 7 o'clock and I'm calling this regular meeting of Township into order. It's Tuesday, June 9th, 2026, here at the municipal office, council chambers, 52 Front Street. We will start with our land acknowledgement. In the spirit of reconciliation, the corporation of the Township of Nipissing respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850, and the township further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of other signatories on these lands. All right, item number 1 on any addendum to the agenda this evening. Moving on to number 2, any disclosures of pecuniary interests? Right. Number 3, approval of previous council minutes, May 26, 2026. Does anyone have any issues or concerns about the minutes from our last council meeting? Okay, so we have a resolution here. Who would like to move the approval of minutes? Okay. Councilor Cartwright, who would like to second? Let's see on that one. Resolution 2026-130, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council approves the regular meeting minutes of May 26, 2026 as presented. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, next, item 4, council business. One item under that, and it's a good one. CEO report 26060901. It's the 2026 operating and capital budgets. And so we'll have a discussion on this. Anyone like to start? Yeah. Oh, would you like to present your report?
Sure. It is a lengthy report, so I'll
just the highlights.
I'll just kind of go through it quickly and then take questions or answer any queries you might have. First, I am very pleased to present on behalf of staff the proposed 2026 operating and capital budget. You know, this has been in the works now for a few months. There's been lots of input from staff and council. It builds on draft operating and capital budgets that have been presented to council and to the budget and finance committee. You know, it is intended to maintain or improve existing service levels, continue investment in critical infrastructure, and advance the priorities identified by council in the strategic plan, while remaining mindful of the tax impact on residents, both now and in the future. As the report details, the budget proposes an effective increase in the municipal levy of 3.42% and a capital budget of approximately 1.56 million, focused on infrastructure renewal, critical equipment replacement, and long-term planning initiatives. The budget also includes 2 important policy changes. The first is the completion of moving sewer costs from the property tax levy to water billing, as this council has approved and discussed in the past. And the second is the elimination of the separate area rating for protections to persons and property. This is, I can discuss this in detail a bit later, but this is an area rating for fire services that applies to almost all residential properties in the township. And even the ones that it doesn't apply to, the distinction no longer really applies or holds. And so this report advocates removing it. It enhances transparency. It reduces confusion about the property tax bill, and I think simplifies the budgeting process. Just some sort of highlights or notes to point out on the budget itself. On the operating budget, the total proposed expenditures is 5.73 million. This represents a 3.5 increase from the 2025 operating budget. After accounting for non-tax revenues, so water and sewer charges, user fees, federal provincial transfers, capital financing. This leaves a proposed municipal levy of approximately $2.7 million. For comparison purposes, and talking about the increase relative to last year, the levy itself is actually a decrease from last year because last year the levy included sewer charges. So to do an apples to apples comparison, comparing to 2025 with the sewer charges removed, it represents a 3.42% increase. On the operating budget itself, on expenditures, I think one of the most important observations to make about this year's budget is that more than 2/3 of the levy increase is attributable to factors outside of council's direct control, mainly levies to the local special purpose bodies that we are required to finance. OPP costs are doing the lion's share of the work here. They increased 11% or by approximately $48,000 from 2025 to 2026. But DSAB apportionments also increased a little more than $8,000. Ambulance apportionments by almost $6,000. Utility costs by about $10,000, and insurance costs by another approximately $2,500. Collectively, these externally imposed costs account for approximately 83% of the levy increase this year. And looking at some of the other factors driving costs, the budget does incorporate increased wage and benefit obligations arising from the recently negotiated collective bargaining agreement. These obligations also flow through to non-unionized staff members via a council bylaw. But permanent full-time staffing levels remain largely unchanged from 2025. When we look at departmental expenditures, and we can review those later, there are increased budgeted expenditures in recreation, economic development, and the museum, but these are largely driven by personnel costs for grant-supported positions with offsetting external funds. So the costs are higher, but so too are the revenues associated with those positions. I'm also pleased to report that we've hired 20 summer students for this upcoming summer. So we have a small army of students that'll be working in public works, in economic development, in the museum, at the marina, at the TIC, and with the rec department. I should also note that the budget continues the township's longstanding practice of contributing to reserves and repaying internal debt. So we're maintaining all of those schedules. These contributions are not always visible to taxpayers, but they're critical to maintaining our long-term financial sustainability. In reviewing departmental operating budgets, there are some sort of important highlights here. The administration continues to work to bring current or outstanding financial statement audits. So there is funding increases here to finance the cost of those audits. There's also funding to support the transition to the new municipal website, new accounting software platform, and completing our roads need study and updating our asset management plan. The recreation department has increased funding for trails and trail maintenance, community programming, and for fitness equipment. Planning and economic development includes funding to support the reopening of the Tourism Information Center for the months of July and August, and the creation of a modest discretionary budget for staff to pursue small economic development initiatives and partnerships. The museum also includes increased funding for exhibits, collection management software, and initiatives intended to strengthen cultural tourism and economic development and community engagement, along with crucial staff training. Turning to the capital budget, the proposed capital program totals approximately $1.56 million. Details of this program can be found in Schedule 3 and Section 3 of your report. The largest project here is the Nipigon District Memorial Hospital Sewer Upgrade Project. We had a meeting yesterday concerning that project. It looks like it's about to begin in 2 weeks. It's expected to last 4 to 6 weeks. So we'll see that project occurring very soon. The budget also includes the replacement of the fire rescue truck, the purchase of a high-quality used plow dump truck, a comprehensive water and wastewater infrastructure study, and approximately 775 meters of road repaving, along with some smaller equipment and facility renewal projects. One of the strengths of this year's capital budget is the financing strategy. Of the $1.56 million in capital investment we're undertaking, we've limited the direct tax-supported contribution this year to approximately $204,000. This is done through a mix of project-specific provincial grants for the hospital sewer upgrade, for example, the use of dedicated reserve funds, Ontario Community Infrastructure Funding, Canada Community Building Fund funding, otherwise known as the gas tax, water fund contributions, and internal debt financing for some projects. Members of council will also note that both the operating and capital budgets directly support the priorities identified in the township strategic plan. Particular emphasis has been placed on infrastructure renewal, water and wastewater sustainability, transportation infrastructure, recreation and community facilities, economic development and tourism, financial sustainability, and organizational effectiveness. In summary, the proposed budget maintains or augments existing municipal service levels, advances council's strategic priorities, invests approximately $1.56 million in critical infrastructure and equipment, continues reserve contributions and debt repayment schedules, maintains long-term financial sustainability, and results in a municipal levy increase of 3.42%. Staff believe the proposed budget represents a responsible and sustainable financial plan for the Township of Nipigon and recommend its approval. I'm happy to take any questions or participate in any discussion you have about any parts of the budget.
Sorry. Okay, does anyone have any questions for Tim?
I'd just like to comment that he did a great report here. It was a nice report. It's all there. You can see it. It's a good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I really like how you presented all of the information, how it aligns with the strategic plan. And the details in terms that are easily consumable by us and by the public as well. But all the details are there. It's easy to read and it's got all the details that I need. Every time when I was reading it over the weekend and I have a question, the answer would come up a little bit later. So this is really good, and I think we've done a good job of balancing our needs and our would like to haves, because that's always the struggle, right? With something that's affordable for most people to have in that tax increase. And like you said, what did you say, 83% of it is out of our hands?
Yep.
So, I mean, just to remind people, I think that OPP a couple of years ago was a regularly 3 or 4% increase every year that you could budget for. And now it's pretty much every year going to be 11%. That's what it's capped at.
Yeah.
And it would be more if it wasn't capped. And one of our delegations was asked them to cap it at, I think it was 5%, or 6%. But it is what it is, so we can't do anything about that. That's what it costs for our ambulance and our open cleaning and our social services as well. Okay, do you girls have any questions about the budget? Good to hear that there's 20 summer students working for the town. Yeah, youth employment, that's a good thing. Okay, there's lots of students that go. Yeah, it's a good job. Okay, any other questions before we move on to the resolution? Okay, so we have a resolution here to accept the report and then to approve the budget as presented. So who would like to move? Councillor Harper, who would like to second? Councillor Westhaven? So this is resolution 2026-131. Moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that council receives CAO report 26060901, 2026, operating and capital budget for information. And that this council approves the 2026 operating and capital budget as presented, resulting in a municipal levy of $2,694,823.44, representing an increase of $89,112.94, or 3.42% over the comparable 2025 municipal levy of $2,605,710.50. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. It's a lot of work. Thank you very much to yourself, of course, and your staff as well. Okay, item number 5, sundries, May 26, 2026, correspondence from Lakehead Search and Rescue, request for a letter of support. This is just for a letter of support, it's not for any money, any financing or anything like that. Okay, do we have any comments about this? Okay,
So they're just looking for.
Yeah, after reading, you know, I'm.
Yeah.
Money aspect.
yeah.
Same.
I'm telling you, oh my God.
They're just reaching out, asking for a letter of support from various organizations as they try to get money to replace a rescue truck.
Okay,
Tis the season.
yeah. Okay, so we do have a resolution here, so we'll see if we have a mover. Would someone like to move supporting the application? From this group, okay, Councillor Hart, who would like to second? Okay, Councillor Harper. So this is resolution 2026-132, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Harper. Be it resolved that this council supports the funding application of Lakehead Search and Rescue for the replacement of its operational vehicle, and that the mayor be authorized to provide a letter of support on behalf of the township of Nipton. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, next we have our report, item 6, Public Works Report 26060902. And we have our PWS Taylor Haskell online here to present her reports to us. So we'll start with item number 1. Thank you so much.
Yep. So item number 1, Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, Nipigon Drinking Water System inspection report. So on April 15th, 2026 through to May 28th, 2026, the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks conducted an inspection of the Nipigon drinking water system to confirm compliance with the MECP legislation and conformance with the ministry drinking water policies and guidelines. One instance of non-compliance was identified during the inspection, which will be discussed internally with operators to be rectified by June 24th, 2026. Any questions on that report?
Do you have any questions for you on that part? No? Okay, number 2, procurement of single axle plow truck update.
So staff are pleased to advise council that the municipality was the successful bidder in the tender process for the used single axle plow truck previously identified as the preferred long-term replacement for the municipality's existing plow truck. The truck is expected to provide reliable winter maintenance service for many years and represents a significant improvement in condition, reliability, and overall operational capability compared to the municipality's existing plow truck. Management and public works staff are very excited to have secured this unit and appreciate council's support throughout the procurement process. The acquisition will help ensure the municipality can continue to deliver safe and effective winter road maintenance services while reducing the risk of costly breakdowns and major repairs associated with the current truck. Staff will coordinate the transfer of the vehicle and will proceed with the planned disposition of the temporary 2007 plow truck and the existing 2017 plow truck at the appropriate time, with proceeds helping to offset the overall cost of the replacement.
Anybody have any questions or comments for Taylor on that? Counselor Westaver, go ahead.
Yes, I was just wondering if the 2007 has to be sold safety, or we just put it up for auction.
We'll probably sell them as is through auction.
I just want to say congratulations on that, because I know it was
Thank you.
a big decision for all of us.
Yes.
On council and for yourself and administration. Because it was a bit of a calculated risk to sort of wait for that tender to come up. But I want to say congratulations, because I think a brand new one is about $300,000, and this one was higher. 400.
Yeah, more than that.
Yeah.
And this one apparently is in mint condition.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's amazing that we got this as part of our rolling stock for such a great price, and it paid off.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
So yeah, my only recommendation today is that council acknowledge receipt of the MECP inspection report.
Okay. So we do have a resolution to accept Taylor's report and to acknowledge and accept the drinking water system DWS inspection report as presented. Who would like to move? Councillor Hertz, you would like to second? Okay, Councillor Cartwright. So resolution 2026-133, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Cartwright. Be it resolved that this council receives PWS report 26060902 for information, and that this council receives, acknowledges, and accepts the Nipkin Drinking Water System DWS 2026-27 inspection report as presented. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 7, economic development. So, this is EDO report 26060901 in regards to the quick tourist electronic kiosk location decision. So we do have a report here from EDO Bell with presenting some information as well as different options and recommendation. So we have option 1, which is the recommended option. Indoor kiosk would go to the Tourist Information Center, and the outdoor kiosk in the shelter at Rotary Park. Option 2 is the indoor kiosk remains in the town office, and the outdoor kiosk in a shelter at the Bridgeview Lookout Tower. Option 3, the indoor kiosk would go to the recreation center, and the outdoor kiosk in the shelter outside of the Tourist Information Center. And then we have some financial impacts and economic impacts, which we all read in our package. Discussion or questions for EDO Bell at this time on these options. Go ahead.
I really like the idea of the outdoor one going to the park instead of up to the lookout tower. I think there are a lot more eyes on it. It'll be a lot safer from vandalism and everything. I still like the idea of the indoor one going in the rec center as opposed to the TIC, because the TIC is only open for 2 months out of the year, and a lot more. I think we get a lot more bodies through the arena. This with the hockey and the festivals and everything else. So I wonder if there could be an option 4 where we have the outdoor one at the Rotary Park and the indoor one in the arena.
Absolutely. So we were fortunate enough when we received the indoor kiosk that he also included a stand. So it is fairly portable. It's a little bit heavy, but while the Tourism Information Center is only open for 2 months, we can always talk about moving it out there afterwards. I know there was a lot of concern about a big screen being left alone with kids running back and forth during the games and stuff, but potentially finding a more central location or even mounting it to the wall could be a solution to that.
So could we have it? Could we have it at the tick for the July and August and then move it to the arena for the rest of the year?
If that was council's will, yeah, absolutely.
Does anyone have any other comments?
Yeah, I would. More go towards that preference as well, like, to be honest, because then you get. The tick while it's open, but you also get, especially during the winter time. When a lot of people are here for hockey tournaments and stuff, and so you get a lot more exposure.
I guess we could also consider bringing it out, and then pulling it back into the office when it's not being kind of monitored or there's not a lot of eyes on it for the different events. Because again, it's not super heavy and it is connected to Wi-Fi. The only concern there is that under the FedNor contribution agreement, we are responsible for the units for 7 years, regardless of what happens. So if there is damage to them, we do need to replace them. And that's just the main concern there.
So my thought on the having it at the tourist information center was like, again. When it's open, there's staff there, right? So. The kiosk might not be at like best use when it's open, but. I don't know, this is like an out of the box suggestion because who knows what's gonna happen, but I was wondering if it would be possible, because I know, I used to work at a tourist information center and there was a lot of traffic coming through there in June and September as well. And I know we can't staff it for June and September because we only have, the students for July and August. But I wonder if it might be possible to mount it up in like the lobby, like the foyer of the tourist information center, and have the like the doors open for the washroom, people using the kiosk with the Tesla people doing the charges and things like that, for June and September, and that way people can still be getting information using the washrooms and all that. But that would mean that a staff person would have to come and open the door first thing, close the door at the end of the day, check the bathrooms, make sure no one's in there, make sure everything's clean and stocked for the next day, which adds a whole other responsibility onto somebody for 2 whole months. And then it also opens our bathroom up and our kiosk up to damage. Now, young people can't easily get up there and make damage, but we all know it's not always teenagers that or young people that do the damage. So that might be a little bit risky. In the perfect world, I think that would be a great use for the kiosk and the washrooms and get more use out of the building for its purpose. But,
It's a
worst case scenario. Someone might live in that bathroom. Well, they can't live, someone has to go in there and check it, sure. I don't know.
If it relieves any of the anxiety, the indoor kiosk is significantly less expensive than the outdoor kiosk. So replacement isn't going to be as bad. However, I think you're probably going to be the safest out there for that period of time. There might be, it might be good to add some additional security out there, but other than that, I would say that's.
Like a camera and you're on camera, not in the bathrooms, because that's illegal, but like in the lobby, smile, you're on camera.
Yeah.
And have something there, so to discourage and also to, if someone does do something to it, we can recognize them. Yeah. I don't know, I think that's something.
You
that
have
would
the
be-
added advantage with the cameras, you have a person counter. So
Yeah.
you can actually count and how many people are actually coming through
Mhm.
during the off season.
And using the kiosk, and if people are coming in, great, if no one's using the kiosk, maybe we just keep the bathrooms open, but not kiosks there or something, I don't know. But I like the idea of moving it into the recreation center for the winter, but somewhere again where it's kind of visible. Where it can be eyes on it, maybe in the, like, not just in like the little foyer part, but in like the lobby part where there's the canteen operator and the attendants and people more likely to see that. Somebody's, yeah, like something gets damaged. So, I don't know.
Kept safe.
It's a hard one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we all in agreement that we want the outdoor one to go to the Rotary Park? Take off one at a time.
Yeah. Get that one.
Yeah, I forgot about the outdoor one. I think the outdoor one would be good. Rotary Park, is
Yes.
everyone
We
good with
can
that?
agree on that.
Where would you put it at Rotary Park, like on that one picnic area?
It's been discussed that those gazebos are kind of starting to become structurally unsound, so maybe pulling down one of those and then putting the gazebo there and having it in there. It'll also make running electricity a lot more simple. We will get that quoted, but yeah, I think it'll simplify a lot of the issues we have with the outdoor unit, so.
Maybe because the indoor one is pretty portable, we have it in the tourist information center, 'cause it's already July 9th or June 9th. Have it in the tourist information center. In the, like, I guess in the main part for the summer, and maybe look at doing something else with it next year.
Yeah.
To like, well, we're gonna see how it works, having it take open in
Sure.
July and August. And then also see if there's maybe a potential to have it in the lobby there on the wall and have the bathrooms open.
In the shoulder
Yep.
season. that
The
is.
shoulder,
Yeah.
yeah, just June and
I
September.
think that's a good idea too. There's always
Mhm.
that damage issue, but
Yeah, but if it's during the day, because at night, if it was open all the time, you'd have people like camping out in there, and living in there.
yeah.
But also school's still in. So kids are still in school during the day, during the week, when it wouldn't be open on Saturday and Sundays, because that's, everyone has staff, right? So maybe we can think about that for next year, or the council in place can think about that
Yeah.
for next year.
Or even this year, we can
In
consider
September.
leaving it there for September, right? We'll have a better sense of the traffic going through the tick, what the clientele is like, and if we think it attracts enough interest, we can move it into the foyer, we can install closed captioning, a CCTV, and then it'll be there, and then we can consider it next year, starting it there in June.
Mhm.
I would support that.
That sounds good.
So,
Where does Brianna think? She must have been studying this.
oh yeah. Okay, so we're okay with the outdoor one going to Rotary Park, the indoor one going up to Tourist Information Center, but in the future, potentially
Yep.
either in September or in June, having it in the lobby there.
Yep.
Okay, so we don't have a resolution for this.
Yep.
So we received the reports and that will
Yep.
select, okay, so I'm just looking at the resolution for this option. So it's as is. Okay, so we don't have to change it. Okay. Okay, so we have, I think that was it for your report, right? Yeah.
Yes, just one last thing to keep in mind, anytime we do decide to make a change on the location, we do have to put in an amendment for the FedNor contribution agreement, and they do have to approve that. So we want to, while it shouldn't be a problem, because there's still locations that are maximizing the tourism impact. We just want to be wary of how many times we're making those changes.
Yeah, so maybe what we can do is have once, once you discuss the staff and everything's okay, it could be like October to May, indoors in the recreation center, and then June to September, it's gonna take, and that could just be for the next 7 years or whatever, it works out.
Yeah.
It works out, right, yeah. Yeah, cause they want their investment to be maximizing the use of it, right, so if it's in a building that's not open for 10 months of the year. Yeah, I can't see them rejecting that. Okay, so we have a resolution to receive Brianna's report about the location decision. So who would like to move this? Councillor Hart, who would like to second? Councillor Westaver. So this is resolution 2026-134, moved by Councillor Hart, seconded by Councillor Westaver. Be it resolved that this council received a report 26060901 respecting the quick tourist electronic kiosk location decision for information. All in favor? Opposed and carried. I forgot to ask you girls what you think of the locations. Are you okay with the outdoor at the Rotary Park here and the indoor at the tourist information?
Is it just like a street?
It's the kiosk that's in the lobby out there. When you leave, you can check it out.
Also, I've seen at like drive-throughs and stuff, they have like a plexiglass case almost that you can lock that goes around, it's like the screen part of it. If you're able to find one that's big enough to fit over that screen, that could work for like
That's
if
it.
people are trying to
Great
snatch it.
idea. We should look into that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Barbara. You saw that drive at Taco Bell? Are you looking for town money to research at Taco Bell? Find out the materials for a video.
Have some free.
Excellent. Thank you for your suggestions.
You know what you'd find out.
That's right. All right, so you guys okay with that then? You guys are, yeah, okay. So this one is to choose the option one. So, who would like to move this one? Councillor Cartwright, who would like to second? Councillor Hart. Resolution 2026-135, moved by Councillor Cartwright, seconded by Councillor Hart. Be it resolved that this council selects option one as the preferred location plan for the quick tourist electronic kiosk project, being the relocation of the indoor kiosk to the tourist information center and the installation of the outdoor kiosk in a protective shelter at Rotary Park, subject to federal confirmation or approval of any required project location amendment. And that staff be directed to proceed with installation planning, including shelter placement, electrical and internet connection requirements, camera coverage, and obtaining quotations for the required electrical service. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. I just have one more quick question, Brianna. So, I'm wondering if it makes sense to like give them the whole request all at once, like with the changing in the winter from October to. Because I don't think you have to ask them about like moving it into the floor of the tourist information center. It's all in the same place, but like to move it into the recreation center for those 8 months. Would you want to include that in your
Yes.
request, just so that you don't have to go back to them again? And you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So the recreation center was already identified as one of the locations, so that one's good to go.
Okay.
And then I will let them know that there's potentially going to be some movement seasonally, and I think that will make the most sense for
Yeah.
them as well.
Okay.
I just have one quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Councillor.
What is one of those kiosks worth? And like if it got totally,
So the indoor kiosk is worth 2,900 and the outdoor kiosk is worth about 7,500. So they're not super cheap. The outdoor one is much more durable. This one is just this big screen, whereas the outdoor one is probably about 7 feet tall and encased in like a metal kind of. So if we could find some kind of plexiglass to stir around, I think that'll save us a lot of damage potentially.
hey, thanks.
Okay, thank you for your report. All right, so before we head into closed session, because that completes our agenda for our open, I'm just gonna go around with any other business. So I will start to my left with Councillor Harper. Do you have any other business? Okay, and Councillor. And Councillor Westaver? Councillor Hart? Staff? No, Taylor? Do you have anything else to add? I think, no. And you're okay, Brianna? Girls, do you have anything? Do you have prom this weekend?
Yes.
Would you like to congratulate all the graduates of your high school, maybe?
Congratulations.
Excellent. And I heard you guys had some sort of fun day today.
Yeah, Summerfest.
Summerfest, is that new at the high school?
I don't know how long we heard it was the third annual one.
Okay.
Oh, so good. Yeah, it was our third annual.
What do you do at that?
They have like snow cones and they have like outdoor like lawn games and then there's a student baseball games. Yeah, and then there's like hot dogs and drinks and chips. We also have this powwow on Thursday. Yeah, powwow on Thursday. All the elementary schools.
Nice. Cool. And I just want to note too that next week is the last meeting for our student council members, and they're going to be presenting a report from their time here on their way out. On their way out the door. So thank you very much for being our student counselors, and we look forward to your report in 2 weeks' time.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I just wanted to mention that we did when we attended the ILC meeting, myself and CEO Cobbin went to the Parks Canada meeting a couple weeks ago. They were talking about some new canoe tours that Parks Canada are going to be presenting here in Nipigon on the Nipigon River. And I was out for a walk today and I saw them out practicing. All the staff were practicing talking about things. They had the big canoe out and then the smaller canoe. So it was pretty cool. So I would definitely suggest that locals go out. It's have the card here. It's Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and it's just drop-in between 10:30 and 3:30. And so you can call for more information and cost and things like that. There's not a whole lot of information on that. Oh, sorry, the cost is here. It's $45.50 per person, and I'm not sure how long it is. I think it's maybe an hour or something like that. But they do a guided canoe tour, which is pretty cool. I was very happy to learn that Sovereign Dental is reopening again. I'm going to be attending. He's going to be speaking at the Rotary tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to be attending that and just finding out what his plans are. But it sounds like there'll be a dentist here once a week, back in the office, and a hygienist 3 or 3 times a week, I think.
You're here tomorrow.
Oh, they're here tomorrow. Yeah. We also have the Jumpstart games that are happening on Thursday. And that's going to be all day. All the elementary school kids in Nipigon are going to be attending that. And it's put on by Jumpstart, Canadian Tire, Jumpstart, and the
grade 4 to 6.
Oh, sorry, grade 4 to 6. Yeah. And they're going to be doing all kinds of, I don't know exactly what kind of sports and things they're going to be doing, but I'm going to pop by there and encourage anybody to pop in and go see what's going on. So that's Thursday kind of during the school day. And Lakehead Athletics is helping to put that on as well. And I just wanted to say congratulations as well to the Elks Baseball Association. It's been really nice to see the fields being used. They've started now. They've got their games going, their practices and everything. So it's really nice to see. But I also want to thank Mike Fonzo at Play It Again Sports in Thunder Bay. Mike's actually a friend of mine. I was chatting with him the other day, and he was talking about the program, and he really helped them a lot with. He spent a lot of time with the organizers, telling them they didn't realize that they could be affiliated with Port Arthur Minor and all that. So he explained all of that stuff to them and really helped them a lot. So I just wanna thank Mike and encourage people to go to Play It Again Sports, because he's a big fan of Nipigon. So that's it. All right, we're gonna be off in closed session now. So who would like to move our migration to closed session? Councillor Harbour, seconded by Councillor Westhaver, and it is. So this is resolution 2026-136, moved by Councillor Harper, seconded by Councillor Westhaver. Be it resolved that this council now resolve into closed session at 7:43 p.m. pursuant to proposed or pending acquisition of deposition of land. Update regarding discussions with Parks Canada respecting marina lands and related property matters and personal matters and about identifiable individual marina property damage matter. All in favor? Opposed? And carried.